Hi, I'm Travis Richardson, Chief Product Officer for Flywheel. Thank you for joining me for today's presentation. My focus is going to be on scaling machine learning for maximum real-world impact of AI and machine learning in healthcare. No doubt you've seen very exciting and compelling applications of machine learning, but my focus here is to talk about the importance of data and collaboration in the context of scaling machine learning. So, broadly from a data perspective, we need real-world evidence that's accurately labeled, and we need the expertise of collaborators who may or may not be in the building to be able to take advantage of the exceptional power and functionality of machine learning. So, our perspective here is that there's a whole new category of research infrastructures required to support machine learning. Um, you know, Depending on who you talk to, 80% of the effort is involved in data management, the complexity of the data, the governance, the machine learning workflow around training, testing, and deploying, tracking. And then on top of that, the involvement of collaborators is critical, but the security, privacy, regulatory considerations are fairly significant. So in that regard, I'm going to talk today about several trends that we're seeing. One is institutions deploying research infrastructure at scale to support better governance and scalability of delivering data while maintaining compliance. New solutions for connecting research communities. I'll show some examples there, and then touch briefly on federated learning and why we're excited about the potential there. So first, I'm coming at this as Flywheel. We build and deploy a data management and collaboration platform that has a complete and integrated workflow for imaging, machine learning, and multi-center collaboration. So in that context, some of the examples are involving our capabilities there. So broadly speaking, though, what we're seeing is a trend towards deployment of institutional research infrastructures. If you're a large academic medical center, you have many requests for data, increasing requests for data given demands for data for machine learning. And this is a good example of what we're seeing. Children's of Philadelphia has deployed a scalable platform, but they did it in two sort of layers. One is an internal system for high-risk PHI involved data, and this is deployed on-prem, and it's in the radiology department, and they can work with higher risk data that might involve PHI and internal collaborators. But they've also developed and deployed a external system based on our technology that sort of works with de-identified data and is more externally facing. So they've kind of separated the risk profiles while providing the scale and manageability to, kind of on one hand provide governance, and on the other hand support the productivity of the research community. And we're excited about this because it also links into the NIH Kids First infrastructure. So this is done in conjunction with Dr. Adam Resnick and his team. They're involved in those kinds of projects. But we're seeing this pattern in many institutions looking to say, how do we scale? We have a lot of data, we have a lot of expertise. How do we scale this? Another example is how we're connecting research communities outside the building. This is an example with Dr. Recht at NYU Langone and his team for a rotator cuff study, ingesting MR data that was de-identified, loaded into the Flywheel platform, where multiple readers from external institutions could come in and provide their expertise to annotate those images, all through essentially visiting the data and using radiology grade tools, but in the cloud in a secure fashion. And we're doing a similar project now, expanding multi-site data collection for a knee study that not only involves collection of data, but involves multiple vendors and even raw data and custom reconstruction. So this notion of kind of setting up a community a tool to enable these kinds of collaborations we see as being very important. And in that regard, we're pleased to announce that we are now working with Siemens to enable their research collaboration. So this is an institutional level deployment at Siemens for their own research collaborations with their academic partners, but also to enable them to provide the same functionality to their research community. So the platform itself is designed for secure sharing of data, running algorithms, testing AI algorithms, for example, reader studies, machine learning development, that kind of thing. So they'll be using it internally, but also making it available to research communities to work in and amongst themselves. So it runs in the Siemens cloud, and we're super excited about the potential for that. But again, it's about connecting research communities. And then finally, just a quick touch on federated learning. In the long run, we see many examples where large, diverse cohorts are required, and maybe the ability to send the data to a central location and then train and process is impractical for privacy and cost reasons. So the kind of like the reader study case where the readers visit the data and perform their analysis, likewise we could do that with machine learning applications. And Flywheel's role in all of this is adapting the clinical data, dealing with the privacy, homogenizing the data environment to enable these federated learning applications to be practical. So we're working with NVIDIA and their Clara platform, in this case linking it with our system for the data curation side. And ultimately, what we are doing is enabling our network of research customers to participate in such networks. So I hope it's a short presentation, but hopefully you saw some value in kind of some of the different strategies that are being deployed to scale machine learning. Thank you very much. Look forward to the Q&A.